Guys, tonight this puppy's on the line. All right, we're going vlog style. We don't have mics. This is a different setup, but you guys already know the deal with this. So yeah, this is up for grabs. We're just gonna be rocking it all. Someone's gonna be wearing it all day. You already know. We're hyped to get this thing in action officially on the channel. Last night was a mediocre boxing match.
It was alright.
Jake Paul versus who did he fight again? No, I'm kidding. Mike Tyson, the legendary Mike Tyson. He was not in the same form that he was in the 1990s.
Guys, Jake Paul.
Or the 80s.
I agree with that dude, David Who's that dummy that works?
David Portnoy.
Guys, he's a controversial guy, but he's got the best takes of all time. This dude said Jake Paul minus 200 is the greatest bet I've seen in my lifetime, and it was. The fact that odds make.
I saw that tweet on like Friday. I was like, what?
The fact Vegas didn't have this bet, Jake Paul money line, to be like a minus 1 million is absolutely insane. I feel bad for the actual people who thought Mike Tyson had a chance. And the only people who thought Mike Tyson had a chance are people who were 40 years of age or older, because they were like, dude, that's my mom just told me. My mom was tuned into this fight.
When they showed the odds on the screen,
my mom was tuned into this fight.
My parent like reacted to the odds and was like, he's plus 280. I'm like, yes, Jake Paul should be literally minus 1,000 right now. Minus
so
1,300.
That was the freest bet I've ever seen.
We couldn't bet it.
Unfortunately, where we are, we could not make a bet because guess what? Where we live is not stupid.
Dude, do you know what's crazy? I bet on.
They know it was pointless.
Serrano versus Taylor, rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Both fighters to get knocked down. It was $1 to win $40. It didn't happen.
They're so fucking shitty.
But imagine.
Doesn't
that seem like such a good
bet? People said most entertaining women's fight. Well, no, it wasn't.
Do you want to know the one criticism I had for the women's fight? We saw the first fight was one of the greatest women's fights.
Actually, what I saw was
we saw the exact same thing, except Katie Taylor.
I personally thought
headbutted. Did you think that was an intentional headbutt?
No, she just sucks at
I don't think it was intentional either. That dude at the end, I was like, all right, get the camera off this guy. Like, he's literally like old man.
I don't think it's intentional. Her boxing style just sucks. She leads with her head, and who does that?
Literally every single interaction was leading with the head.
That's not even her fault, that's the coach's fault, and it wins her fight, so why would they stop?
Yeah, literally, it's crazy because we saw an exact replica of the first fight, damn near. Yeah. Other fights, didn't really matter. It was split draw. The first fight was a bunch of buffoonery. And honestly, the main event was some buffoonery as well. It was a sparring match between a 58-year-old and 27 kid living out his dreams.
Facts.
That's all it was. So it was not competitive. It was not even, and it's not even entertaining. Seeing Mike Tyson get hit in the face at 58 years old is sad. It was sad. I almost shed a tear seeing Mike Tyson look like he's about to cry after taking a punch from Jake Paul.
No, I loved it. I honestly thought I didn't get to see Mike Tyson in his prime. I mean, that dude became a UFC heavyweight champion when he was 20 years old.
WBC.
20 years old. 20 years old. He was a boxing world champion at 20 years old, guys. The man was 58. He was
38 years later.
He was. So let's say, so he became champion at 20. So he's in his prime probably from like 20 to like, I'll even be generous and say ages 20 to 28. Which isn't even true. It's definitely less than that. But guys, over 35 years past his prime. And people thought he was going to be a young 27-year-old multimillionaire who can afford the best trainers in the world.
He trains every single day and for the past 6 years. It's
under damn near his own promotion. 2-minute, 8 rounds. What the fuck are we fighting in here? Like, what are these 2-minute, 8 rounds? No one fucks with this. Right. Jake Paul. He's got to keep doing what he's doing. He just broke multiple records last night. Highest gate in that stadium. Like, bro, like, it's unfortunate.
I thought,
you know what,
Jake Paul? I heard that they sold out the football stadium. I was like, yo,
no, how about this?
I couldn't believe they sold out
the Dallas Cowboys. I'm comparing Jake Paul fights to Call of Duty, okay? Every time a new Call of Duty launches, guys, Call of Duty's been asked to pass. I
saw that tweet.
I haven't even seen that. Really? Someone said that?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I didn't even see that. Really? Guys, Call of Duty comes out. In the past 5 years, it's been trash. But every year, they keep breaking the record for most #1 days played and then like the most grossing Call of Duty throughout the year. Every year they're breaking that record, but somehow Call of Duty's getting worse, and that's how Jake Paul fights feel. It's like, dude, the fights are getting worse, bro. Ever since he lost to Tommy Fury, it's been he's just making these fighting old guys, and then each fight, it's like, oh shit, he just broke the highest gate in this Dallas Cowboys stadium ever. Like, bro, that's most disrespectful. I don't
believe that.
He had the whole locker room to himself. You know what it is? It's because Netflix, and then Netflix to have 60 million concurrent viewers, 60 million.
65.
65 million?
I think so, yeah.
So and overall, the people who have Netflix is 300 million, I believe. Like, that could have watched the fight and have 60 million.
How many people of those are unactive?
Yeah, so why Netflix gave Jake Paul an opportunity when they could have gave it to even like greater boxer fighter, but Jake Paul, he took it and ran, and he got to like basically be under his own promotion. MVP was shouted out the whole time throughout the whole thing. But I actually did like the production crew from Netflix. I think it was actually a decent.
I did not like the commentary.
Oh no, the commentators were ass.
I didn't even really like that round table.
Let's forget about that.
Why is Cedric the entertainer here?
Let's forget about that. The commentators were trash, but
and I didn't really like the ring announcer.
They just hired people that aren't knowledge in the sport. I mean, people didn't even know why that Mike Tyson was biting his glove. He's done that his whole career. And
well, the one dude did.
Remember, I know, the dude he said, "I'm not trying to argue with the former world champion, but you're a fucking retard," is what he said.
Well, if you guys remember the Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson fight, that same commentary dude was overweight, I think, and he was smoking weed with Snoop Dogg in the commentary. Remember that?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was the Ben Askren
awesome.
fight.
That was the
on Triller. That was the same dude. He was smoking weed with Snoop. He was back. I was like, all right, he's not bad, but he's literally the whole time it's the same tone screaming. So I don't know, y'all. It was
dumb. It was dumb.
But the tweet was like similar to that. It was like every year Call of Duty comes out, and we all know it's gonna be basically the same thing. This is what we are with Jake Paul fights.
I don't know. There's something to me that a tiny bit respects Jake Paul that he didn't knock out.
I honestly regret staying up till 1 a.m. to watch that. I wish I would have actually got a good night's sleep last night.
I would have felt horrible to see Mike Tyson on the ground, so I'm very glad Jake Paul was like, yo, what am I fighting right here? This is one of the first after fights where he was not like, yo, I just beat this guy for, what the fuck are you doing? This is like the only fight Jake Paul wasn't like, oh, I destroyed him, I beat Mike Tyson. He literally was like,
yeah, this is the only time we've seen Jake Paul be humble.
No, it wasn't even the fact, he wasn't even totally necessarily humble, but if he went out and admitted like this was like one of his greatest wins, he beat Mike Tyson. He even said,
I know, right?
He nearly said,
he was like, let's go.
He nearly said, I'm beating an old man, and I'm sorry.
Isn't that like a SpongeBob episode when like Squidward's like celebrating, but he like punished SpongeBob the whole episode and nobody cheers on Squidward?
Yeah, something like that.
What time is it?
Something like that. 38:49. So
guys, we are about to go watch UFC 309. Should we go over some of our FanDuel bets? Kendrick just opened his mouth. Bo Nickel sub, John Jones sub, Karen Silva, Charles Oliveira, plus 16.99.
Yeah, I mean, the odds are actually disrespectful. I don't know if it's.
I only bet, dude. If you bet on every favorite money line, it's plus 153.
That's so bad.
And I did
That's
it.
so bad.
And it's not even gonna hit.
That is so bad.
You know what I mean? Dude, Charles Oliveira by points, Bo Nickel by points.
Oh, you're nearly getting scammed.
Stipe Miocic's money line, John Jones knockout, technical knockout. That's all I got, dude. Guys, I'm really not a heavy gambler, so we don't really know how we're gonna do this gambling series.
We're just gonna give you guys.
I'm putting $1 on like both results of the fight. So it's like,
guys,
I'm not even really a gambler.
I have a 5-pick parlay to make $684. I do recommend gambling. No, I'm just joking, guys. We never.
Everybody gamble. If you're not old enough,
plus 6,705 legger.
Wait, how much was it?
Plus 6,705 legger. I mean, it's basically my predictions for the fight.
This hits this.
So for the first fight, I have, how do you pronounce his first name, Matt? Marcio Ruffy, one of the fighting nerds.
We didn't know until this week.
So, huge prediction for me on my end. That should secure me a point for the belt. And then right after that, Karen Silva. She is the favorite tonight at a minus 295. So I added that to the parlay. I do think she's gonna catch a dub, or he. Is it he or she? I do think she's gonna catch a dub. Now, guys, this is where the points come in. Matt basically just said like he has a 5-legger and it's only a plus 100. Guys, this is where you get the parlay to fucking spice up. Here we have Bo Nickel by submission at a plus 195, followed by, which I do think that is going more likely to happen. I see when I was actually going to make the bets on this fight, they basically were saying the odds makers had Bo Nickel more likely to knock out Paul Craig than submit Paul Craig, which makes no sense, especially after his last fight. They actually do that in a later fight that I'll talk about in a second. Guys, co-main event of the evening, guys. I have Michael Chandler TKOing Oliveira. I know Oliveira is a huge fan favorite ever since he became champion, and people like to ride him a lot in fights, and I love it. I loved it when he beat Poirier and Gaethje because he's just scraping over these wins. He's facing a hungry Mike Chandler that is trying to not only get a title shot, but still get a McGregor fight. He's hungry. He hasn't fought in a while. So he's pissed because he didn't get that fucking fight. And this is a rematch where he got slept last fight after nearly winning. Any other referee probably stops that fight, and Chandler is lightweight champion of the world, and his whole career is different. He wants this rematch. This is his revenge game. He's going to knock him out. That is a plus 390 to happen. I can't believe that's 390 when Oliver is the most hittable lightweight on the roster, and Chandler hits hard. So, this is what it gets me to 6,700. John Jones by submission, guys. The odds makers I was looking.
This is a crazy parlay, but like, it feels realistic, but at the same time, it's
I'm making it sound realistic.
So much stuff has to
John Jones by submission, plus 220. Guys, I also saw the odds makers, like I just told you about the Bo Nickel. They have John Jones more likely to knock out Stipe Miocic than they have to submit him, which, guys, makes no sense because out of his last 10 fights, he only has 2 finishes, and he's now moved up to heavyweight, where he's actually at a power disadvantage. He doesn't hit harder than Stipe. He doesn't hit harder than all the heavyweights on the roster. He was already a naturally smaller light heavyweight. You see how much different and older he looks when he bumped up to heavyweight. I think he's more likely to submit him than anything because he doesn't want to stand and bang with Stipe Miocic.
Hear me out. Stipe's getting a knockout with the new gloves.
With the old gloves? With the old gloves. So, guys, I really do think Stipe or John Jones is going to be great and submit Stipe Miocic probably inside 3 rounds. I don't think he wants to stand there with Stipe. I don't think... John Jones knows he can't take this to decision. The last time he went to decision, he should have lost. Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Guys, John Jones needs to finish this fight.
Durable.
But here's the thing. With John Jones wrestling, and especially at this size, it's going to be too much for a 42-year-old Stipe here. Just said he worked a 24-hour shift as a fucking firefighter, guys. I told him. He's going to finish some guys, and I'm going to be at $600 richer. Let's go.
John Jones.
Josh, all right, Matt, what's your parlay?
John Jones, he weighs less in this fight. So he's gonna be, and he submitted Gane heavier than what he is. So my parlay already basically lost, I think.
So that's my This Smacking Bet of the Week, guys. 5-leg parlay by Gibby. That's gonna be my bet week's name. Gibby.
I had a parlay that I was hyped about, but it failed.
Veronica already got it. I bet her as well.
Tell me this parlay wasn't. Oh, never mind. I was so stoked about this one.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, ooh, a little plus 550. $2. I was that confident. Yo, chat. I picked
this whacking.
I picked this whacking. I started up a 13-legger, and so far everything has lost.
This whacking.
I might have to bet against that now.
I'm gonna walk in the comments with it strapped.
Nah, you didn't win it, bro. Yo, Kendrick just opened his mouth.
I won it when I saw my bank account deplete.
You're wearing it backwards. Guys, we are going to bring the belt out in public for the first time ever. Should be cool. So thanks for watching this episode of Fight Geeks. See you guys later.